Can sex addicts be faithful? Do you really think when someone is sexually addicted to sex can really be faithful? Sit still, don't move, don't go anywhere, don't change the channel, because we've got a lot to discuss and to learn in this video. But the information that you let in. Remember, information is powerful. Information is everything, and this the kind of information that you feed your mind determines what you're gonna become. What you're gonna become. If you feed on if you feed on the Bible and you feed on the spiritual information, then you're gonna start behaving like Jesus. You're gonna start behaving like angels. You're gonna start behaving like children. But then now, when you feed on horror movies, and that's the information you feed on, you're watching horror movies all the time, you're watching vampires bunching on each other, and that information, then eventually you're going to start getting bad dreams, and you're going to start being anxiety. When a door bangs, then you think it's a gun, simply because you've been watching on violent movies. So the information you take in, same applies to pornography. When you feed your mind on pornography, you start becoming that. You become that, and then eventually you get addicted to that, because that's the information that you feed on. Whatever that you take in the food you eat. Now the food, when you eat physical food, spices and all that kind of stuff, that foods feed your body. It feeds your body physically. Your physical body feeds on that in order to live. Now the mind has got its own diet, which is the information that you feed on. Information, the people that you hang out with, the things they say, the things they talk, the news thing that you watch on the news, the things that you listen to, the radio that you listen, the kind of music you listen to, the lyrics you listen to, the things that your mentors tell you. Who is your role model? The role model that you take as a role model, your idol in life. What are they saying? So all that information, when it comes in, the teachers at school, what information do they give you? Your role model in your home, if you don't have a father, maybe, what does your mother teach you? Charity begins at home. What does your mother tell you? So all that information, when it comes here on your mind, on your hard disk, which is the brain, you find that information, you start meditating on that, and then eventually you start behaving like that. You behave like that, you become that. Now usually sex addicts are usually people who've been exposed to pornography, and it's very hard. You cannot date someone who's sexually addicted. Sexual addiction is a problem in a relationship. Your relationship cannot survive. It will not survive if you are with someone who's sexually addicted. Unless both of you are having the same problem, then you are addicted to each other. But usually it will also still involve people who are sexually addicted. They can't stick to one person. They're always jumping from one person to the other, because they're not satisfied with they don't know what they're looking for. And what they have, they can never satisfy them. They are longing for more. If the vagina is small, they're longing for the big one. If they've got the big one, they're curious about the thin one. If the thin penis is very tiny, they're curious about the thick one. So you can never satisfy someone who's addicted to sex. That someone will never be faithful. They will never be faithful. They will never be faithful unless they are addicted to things like, then you get sex toys, unless both of you are on the same train. That's when things will work. But if you are not both on the same train, if you are not both sexually addicted, and you come up to an agreement and say, okay, we are now having an open relationship, we can all invite our friends and have sex together. Usually, if you adore your relationship and you really adore your partner, then make sure that you let him go. Make him free, set him free, and tell him to go and have protection. Whenever he finds himself, he can have protection. He must use protection to make sure that he doesn't bring diseases and infect you. So now you need to know exactly that as someone who's addicted to sex can never be faithful. Will always, even if he doesn't cheat on you with someone else, he will cheat on you with pornography. He will leave you in bed and go and start masturbating there in the bathroom. That is unfaithfulness in a relationship. It's unfaithfulness. When someone leaves you there and she goes and maybe she stuffs herself with a dildo or with a vibrator, that's being unfaithfulness. All that stuff, you need to be together. Anything that has to do with sex has to involve both of you if you are dating someone. So now if you want to see more of these videos, make sure you subscribe at the bottom, touch the bell button next to it. Right now, we need to know exactly whether someone who loves sex so much, someone who's addicted to sex, can really be faithful, But then now you're dating someone, right? You're dating someone and you're not sure whether exactly they can. Before we even dive into this video, right? I would love to ask you, I urge you to, if you want to see more of my videos and you really want to learn more about sexual stuff and how to keep sex in your relationship, make sure that you subscribe there at the bottom, touch the bell button next to it to receive a notification to when I never upload a video on YouTube just for you. But then now, how do you know exactly that someone can be faithful when they are addicted to sex? First of all, what is sexual addiction? When you're sexually addicted is when you can't get full, you can't get enough of sex. You just can't get enough. You can't get enough. You find that men are like dogs. They usually even say we are like dogs. Men are like dogs. Men are like, but what causes a man to be like a dog? Men are like dogs simply because to men, sex is like a game. Sex is like a game. Sex does a lot of pain relief. Sex is a pain relief. Sex is a stress relief. Sex is an anger relief. Sex relieves a lot of things in a man's life. When a man is restored, when a man senses a threat, when a man loses his job, when a man doesn't have money, when a man that is going through stuff, what a man does is he runs to sex. Sex is basically a punching bag to a man. It's a punching bag. That's why men are dogs. Men are dogs when it comes to sex. But now you need to know exactly that what makes someone be addicted to sex, especially with guys, especially men. Why men are addicted to sex. This usually is caused by the environment where someone grew up, maybe the past someone, the experience that someone has had when they were growing up, and also the foods that someone is eating, the diet that someone is eating. You find that you're constantly eating on arousing foods, foods that arouse you, like dark chocolate, like raisins, like honey. Those are foods that are increasing your stamina, your physical stamina, that build muscle, foods that increase testosterone. So you need to know exactly. You need to know that there are things to make sure that you look into your diet. Make sure that you watch your diet. Is your diet healthy enough? It's very good. It's good to eat sexually arousing foods. That is good. But then now, you need to know, you need to ask yourself, am I the kind of person, say yes, if you're trying to increase your libido, if you're trying to increase your testosterone, then it's a good thing that you up your testosterone foods. You look into your testosterone diet. But if you are not really looking for feeding, for increasing your testosterone, then don't leave the testosterone foods alone. Look into your diet and choose out exactly that. Say, for instance, people are different. You find some who are naturally born with high testosterone. And also, your age. What age are you? If you're a teenager in the age of between the age of 14 and 18, those ones are very high in testosterone. Testosterone are very high. Now, going ahead and feeding on foods that increase your testosterone, food like chocolate, foods like all kinds of foods that increase your libido. And meanwhile, your hormones themselves, they are raging. Your hormones are raging for libido. Your hormones are increasing. Your hormones are naturally raging because of your age. You are going through adolescence. You are in puberty stage. Meanwhile, puberty stage, usually puberty, your hormones will be raging. Your testosterone will be shooting high. So now the last thing you want is to feed on foods that increase testosterone, and it doesn't make sense. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying. So now usually people who are addicted to sex are people who are feeding on such foods. People who have got a background, people who are addicted to pornography. Pornography usually leads you to be addicted to sex. These are the things that lead someone to be addicted to sex. People have joined groups. People have gone to rehabilitations. People have joined centers that help because sex can be addictive. Sex can be a problem. Addictions don't. Addiction. You can't just. Addictions don't only mean drugs. They don't only mean alcohol. Being an alcoholic. Addiction can mean a lot of things. And this includes being sexually addicted. You can easily be sexually addicted to sex. And you just can't have enough. You just can't sit still. You just jumped from this woman, and the next thing you want another woman, you can't sit still. And usually these are people who have, I'm not only gonna say that being sexually addicted, that simply means that you're having a lot of sperm that that is busy pushing to come out of those testicles. No, being sexually addicted has to do with your mindset. It has everything to do with your brain. Then you find that even when you go to bed, you're dreaming of sex, you're dreaming of this. Usually is caused by the information that you let into your brain.
Are you browsing on that world map for your favorite destination during holidays? Cape Town is your best choice. Filled with rocky mountains, Table Mountain is our most tourism attraction, and not to mention Robben Island. Woodstock being one of the neighborhood suburbs, spending time relaxed at the coolest corners situated there will leave you with memories to tell. Spend your holidays in the city of Cape Town and enjoy the African warm experience Mother City has to offer. When it comes to hospitality in Cape Town, hotels in Woodstock next to the Table Mountain will offer the most awesome view, allowing you to take an afternoon walk around the bottoms of the Rocky Mountain. Safety in the city of Cape Town is the #1 priority to ensure that visitor as well as citizens are free to jog and take walk freely without worrying about their well-being. Have you visited the top of the Table Mountains yet? What of riding those boats that take off from the waterfront? The Cape Town experience is one that will leave you with nothing but memories to tell. Catch your next flight and get to your favorite destination, which is the mother city of Cape Town today.
Do you want to know how to deal with sex addiction in a relationship? Sit still, don't go anywhere, because there is a lot to learn in my video. But then now, if you really want to see more of these videos of this kind, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe, touch the subscribe button there. Also touch the bell button next to it to receive a notification to all my awesome videos that I upload to YouTube just for you. How do you deal with sexual addiction? Exactly. By the way, let me ask you, what exactly is sexual addiction? Sexual addiction is when you want sex all the time. You cannot get full. You just want it all the time. You want it in the day, you want it night, you want it in the evening, you want it morning, you want it night, you want it early morning, you want it in the evening, you want it in the morning. You just want sex. You can't. It's itching down there. It's itching. It's scratching. You can't sit still. But then now, what causes that addiction? Usually, people who are sexually addicted are usually people who are molested when they were kids, especially with girls. Women, usually this is a condition that is caused by sexually molested when you are still a kid. When you were sexually molested and a man penetrated inside of you, that damages a vagina. It damages a vagina that a woman is never get satisfied. Remember, when the cells of the cells around the vagina are still maturing, the hormones are still, the cells are still maturing. They are not matured yet. That vagina is not a vagina yet. It's not a vagina yet. It's a baby organ. It's a baby thing. Do you find now when someone pushes an object right inside that baby vagina that hasn't matured yet, some nerves are damaged. Some nerves are damaged. I do understand that a vagina is elastic. It's elastic. It expands and it contracts. But that happens when a vagina is matured. When it's matured above 17, above 18. When you're above 18, then you are ready to have sex. If you are not above 8, if you're still a baby, if you're under 16, your vagina cannot expand and close, expand and close. Remember, remember that there is a membrane that covers on the vagina, and that membrane is called a hymen. Hymen, when the hymen is not broken yet, when the vagina is not matured enough, especially when this still that membrane is still covering the mouth of the vagina, it cannot contrast and close. So now when a man penetrates into the vagina, a baby vagina, that vagina gets damaged. It gets damaged. Now other reason why women usually get itching down there and they're addicted to sex and they can't have it enough of it is usually sitting in in a bath for a long time, especially when you're still a child. Don't sit your baby girl in water for such a long time. That damages a baby. Now there are many things that could cause sexual addiction to a woman. Women usually get molested down there. They hate themselves, and then when they reach, or some of them even, they get exposed to sex, to pornography at a very young age. You find that the mother raised her single-handedly. The mother gets a boyfriend and they start having sex and exposing the child to sex. They have sex in the next room while the child is sitting in the lounge watching TV, and they're making all the noise, all the funny sexual noise in the other room, and the baby is listening. So the baby is exposed to sexual stuff when he's still young. Now such a child will always, when the mind gets damaged, gets all clogged up with all the sexual ideas, the child is exposed to pornography, exposed to sex out there by the neighborhood. He starts looking at big old men, and she just wants to have sex with them. She never gets satisfied. So this usually goes beyond physical, and it works with the mind, it works with the brain. When the mind, psychologically, a child gets damaged, a child is thinking about sex all the time. That's what the child thinks about. When the child sits on internet, the child thinks of going and opening pages about sex, or that's all. It's the dreams that come into her mind, is what she thinks of. Now when after we're done now with girls, I'm going to talk with boys. I'm going to talk about boys. Boys also can be easily addicted to sex. Now usually sex to a boy, it's a normal thing for a boy to want sex, to love sex. It's a normal thing. Every man. Men are made of men. Basically, sex to men is like a gym. It's an exercise. It's a workout. Same way you can easily be addicted. You could easily be addicted to working out, to going to gym. Maybe you love sport and you like working out. You like jogging and you like running up the mountain and stuff. It's the same way a man takes sex in his life. Sex to a man is a punching bag. It's an exercise. When a man ejaculates, each ejaculation, one single ejaculation is equal to 20 kilometers. When he runs 20 kilometers, by the arriving point, is the same amount. It's the same energy that he releases when he runs 20 kilometers. Is the same energy he releases when he ejaculates. So to a man, sex is a stress reliever. Sex is a calmer. It calms him down. It takes away anger. Sex has a way of putting people in a relaxing someone. That's why you see usually men, after having sex, after they ejaculate, they always take a nap. They will always take a nap and sleep for like an hour or two. Sex is a relaxer to a man. It's a therapy to a man. That's why a man can never do without a woman, or without having sex. Can never do without. A man can stick that penis into anything, into a dog, into a cat, into that beggar that is sleeping outside. She doesn't care how, whatever that he's sticking that penis into. He can stick it into a mattress, put a hole into a mattress, and just get to ejaculate. That's what he cares about. So sex to a man, it's a game. So that's why I'm not so focusing on men being addicted to sex, because it's very rare. It cannot be an addiction to a man. A man, the higher the testosterone, the higher the formation of sperm, and the more that sperm has to come out. So there's nothing like sexual addiction to a man. There's nothing like there are also food. This is what I basically wanted also to mention for those who are sexually addicted. There are foods. Stop eating foods. Look at your diet. Stop eating. Maybe the foods that you eat are foods that are arousing you. You eat too much chocolate. You're eating too much sweets. Those are foods that arouse you. There are foods that arouse watermelon. You're eating watermelon all the time. That watermelon is an arousal. Too much red grapes. Red grapes are arousal also. What are you drinking? Are you an alcoholic? Because alcohol also induces and gets someone not to think straight and just be himself. Remember alcohol. When someone drinks alcohol, alcohol brings out the real you. It brings out the real you. Alcohol gives you the courage to insult someone or to say whatever you always wanted to say to someone. So but could be, look into your diet. Look into your diet. Could be the reason why you could be arousing yourself 24/7. You're always arousing yourself. You're always arousing yourself. And also, what leads to sexual addiction, especially to women, is when you are still a girl. They fed you with a lot of things. They always bought you chocolates. When you buy arousing foods to kids and give kids arousing foods, you're opening doors for kids that they will never close. You train their hormones. You basically train their hormones to be arousing all the time. And it's still a child. It's not an adult, it's a child, but you train. By the time the child turns 16, by the time the child starts menstruating or the voice is changing, the child's hormones are adults already inside. Inside the child, you're always arousing the child, awakening the hormones inside the child. So then when the child grows, doesn't know exactly why he's aroused, why he's always horny, why she always wants sex, but simply it's because of the diet. So watch the diet that you're eating, watch the things that you eat, and if you still want to see more of this kind of videos that are giving tips about sex, make sure that you subscribe at the bottom. Bye-bye.
Is your hairline damaged from all the chemicals applied? Do you braid your hair too tight? Are you wearing a wig every day? Injib's Cosmetics Hair Care Range is the answer. Injib's range restores your hairline, moisturizing hair while giving it back its shine and elasticity. Injib's Hair Care Range has a variety of products including hair food, weave and braid stays, shampoos and many more. Find Injib's at your nearest cosmetics store at an affordable price. Restore your hair back to its natural condition today. When it comes to a woman who cherishes her beauty, a little bit of attention takes her a long way. Looking elegant, beautiful and stylish puts that puzzle together, but there's that one piece missing, and only to realize that Injib's is the answer. Answer.
Do you want to know how to stop being addicted to sex? Sit still, don't go anywhere, don't move, because I've got a lot of information for you to learn. But now, before we dive into this video, I would want to ask you that if you want to see more of my videos and if you want to learn more about sex, make sure that you subscribe there at the bottom. Touch the bell button next to it to receive a notification to all my awesome videos that I upload to YouTube just for you. But now, the question is, how do you stop being addicted to sex? How do you get in the first place being addicted to sex? What causes you to be addicted? Now, there are several things that could cause you to be addicted to sex. Some of those things are the background that you're having, the way you were raised, the way you're coming from, the way you were brought up. How were you introduced to sex? What introduced you to sex? Now, many people have gone through a childhood that has been broken, a broken childhood that has been raised them, teaching them that women are just tools, women are just there to be used, women belong in a kitchen and all that kind of stuff. So now it depends on how you were raised. Now you find that some boys who come from the traditional cultural background, you find that they tend to believe that women are like furniture. You can have as many of them as you want because they're just there to satisfy you. A woman is there to satisfy you. So you find that such backgrounds determine what a child would be when he grows up. But then now, such sex addiction usually derive from being introduced to sex in fun, in weird ways. Now, many boys learn having sex from pornography, from watching pornography and all those kinds of images. Now, such kids will learn, who are introduced to sex through such sources. If you learn having sex from such sources, you find that you always depend your life will always depend on sex. You will always be addicted to. So it also depends. Say for instance, if you've been broken-hearted, like now this goes to girls, to women mostly. Mostly women have been hurt. Women have been hurt. They've been hurt by people. They've been hurt by their boyfriends. They've been hurt in life. They've been molested. They've been abused sexually. You find that such people end up hating themselves. They hate themselves and they expose themselves to sexual intercourse and sexual acts. Then you find that even some girls end up into prostitution. They end up into human trafficking, selling their souls to go and sell their bodies as human slaves and all that kind of stuff. So now such things, you find that even things, lifestyles, many kinds of lifestyles like becoming an alcoholic and getting hooked to drugs and all that kind of stuff, they tend to make you get addicted to sex and make you going around and getting all kind of crazy fans. Now then you find that there are also some instances whereby a girl or a boy feels rejected and feels seeking attention. Now this usually goes to women. When a woman, nobody cares, nobody wants, and you find that a girl is raised by a single parent, right? A single mother raises a child. Then you find that there is no attention. There is no attention. So now if there is no attention, you find that the child tends to not knowing a father figure. There is no male figure. When a child is raised by a mother, single mother, right? There is no male figure. Then when a child is growing up, there has to be a male figure. There has to be a male figure that guides a child, that trains a child into becoming, into being, and understanding that every child, whether it's a girl or a boy, there has to be a male figure. So you find that a girl is raised by a single mother. Girl has never been touched by any man. Then a girl tends to get into adolescence age. Right now she's adolescent. Now she feels like she needs a man. Now then a girl tends to look for attention from any man. She gets to a point where she misses her father. She misses that male figure. She admires the friends who have got fathers in their lives, and then she tends to look for a father. She tends to look for a father in men, tends to look for a father in sugar daddies, tends to look for that protection, that male protection. She looks for that male protection in the wrong places. Then you find that the first man who holds her and who is that sugar daddy, that pervert, the molester, is the one who holds her, is the one who embraces her, she's the first man he's the first man who treats her as a woman, who treats her as a girl. Then you find that she gets addicted to such because she's looking for attention, she's seeking for attention. Then she ends up finding attention in the wrong places. So now all these kind of things usually tend to get someone hooked and addicted to sex. But then now, how do we prevent this? How do you stop being addicted to sex? Now there are many things to do. You can always go back and dig into your past and cultivate and walk through and deal with your past. Deal with your past, because like we said, usually these things derive and they usually come from the past, your upbringings, or your background, or the way you were raised, or the way you were damaged when you were growing up. But then now you need to go back and cultivate and deal with those issues. Remember, if you don't deal with your ghosts, with your issues, they will always haunt you. They will always look for you. You need to deal with your past. Deal with your past, cultivate through it. Were you raised by your single mother who used to bring boyfriends and have sex in front of you? Usually you will always have to go speak to someone, speak to a psychologist, go speak to a professional, speak to someone. If you can't afford a professional, make sure that you send in your comments there. Speak to me, talk to me. I'm here, I can counsel you, I can walk through those stages. But then now you need to you need to deal with these issues. Now another way to deal with this, you'll find that some of the reasons why you get addicted to sex, people are addicted to sex, is the diet that they eat. There are foods that arousing foods. Then you find that you as a child, you were raised on chocolates, you were raised on foods that arouse you. Happy hormones arouse your excitement hormones, arouse your adrenalines. Then you find that the more you grow, you reach an adolescent age. you reach your teenage age, and then you find that because you've been addicted to these foods, you tend to find you tend not to know why the body is really acting weird. You're always aroused all the time, you're always excited, and you want to have sex all the time, simply because of the foods that you eat. Now I advise you to go through your diet. I've got videos that teach, that show, that give you tips on foods that arouse, foods that enhance your sex drive, and foods that really increase your testosterone and your sex drive. So make sure that you go and watch those videos. Check them in my playlist. You'll see all the videos are there. To walk through the foods. There are foods, several foods that arouse you. Foods that arouse men. Foods like chocolate, food like dark chocolate. Foods like watermelon. Some fruits, watermelon, citrus fruits are very good at arousing. Foods like honey. Honey is very good at arousing. It gives stamina. And many foods like omega-3 fatty acids are very good at increasing testosterone. So you find that you've been feeding on such stuff, feeding on foods that arouse you, but without knowing. So you need to go through your diet. Go through your diet and know exactly the foods that you're eating, foods that you're munching on all the time, that you're busy munching on. Are they arousing you? Raisins are very good at arousing. Raisins very good at increasing your testosterone. So now these are foods that you need to avoid. If you know that you want to deal with the sex addiction, avoid these foods. And also join groups. There are many groups out there, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups that you can join in your society, in your community. Go and join groups of people that are going through the same things, people that are dealing with sexual addiction. You can go to a rehab center and clean yourself. So there are many ways. Avoid places like clubs, avoid places like adult worlds, all those places that you can walk in, and avoid watching porn. Many people are addicted to sex simply because they watch too much porn. The more you watch porn, the more you're gonna get addicted to sex. Don't watch, avoid porn, avoid pornography, avoid watching such images, avoid watching naked, avoid those images, because usually, like I explained in some of my videos that I previously uploaded, the information that you take in determines what you're going to start thinking and what you're going to start saying and how you're going to start acting. So information is very powerful. Information has got power to change your mind, has got power. Like they always say that poverty is not in the wallet, it's not in the bank account. Poverty is up here in your mindset. So the information that you take in, whether it's negative, whether it's arousal, whether it's immoral, any information that you take in, biblical information, godly information, any information, gossip information, evil information, satanic information, all that information determines who you're going to be and how you're going to act. So make sure that in order to stop becoming sexually addicted to all that kind of stuff, make sure that you go through the stuff, the information that you take in. Now if you want to see more of videos of this kind, make sure you subscribe there at the bottom, touch the bell button to receive a notification to all my awesome videos that I upload to YouTube just for you. Share this video to friends on WhatsApp, on Twitter, everywhere, so people can know about this information. Also, if you have any comment, any suggestion, put it there in the comment box for me to go through it and to interact with you. Let us chat, let's interact, let's communicate. And also like this video if you like it. If you don't like it, also touch the dislike button. Israel again, and I want you to keep coming.
Is your hairstylist telling you the whole truth about hair growing secrets and maintenance? In fact, Injib's hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Injib's product maintains weaves, Brazilian and human hair extensions. Is your wedding coming soon but your hairline is a total mess? What kind of a party, event or function are you soon attending? Injib's product is the real deal when it comes to restoring damaged hairline. Find Injib's products at New Look Cosmetics in Epping Industrial, Cape Town, where they supply a variety of wholesale hair products. Find Injib's products at Jabula Cosmetics in the Golden Acre, Cape Town. Find Injib's products at A to Z Amani Cosmetics in Mowbray, Cape Town. Don't forget your Injib's products for your next hairdo. Remember, Injib's hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Sex is not everything in a relationship. First of all, remember, like I said, like I mentioned in my videos, I've always said in my videos that sex is important in a relationship. like sex is really, really important and healthy in a relationship, but then that does not mean that sex is everything in a relationship. Sex is not everything in a relationship. Now, if you want to learn and see and hear more about sex in a relationship, sit still, don't move, and also grab your popcorns and come and sit with your glass of red wine and listen to all this information. But then now, before we dive straight into this video, make sure that you subscribe there at the bottom, touch the bell button next to it to receive a notification to all my awesome videos that I upload to YouTube just for your education and for your information. But then now, I want you to understand that sex is not everything in a relationship. Are you in a relationship? Are you in a marriage? Are you dating? What kind of a relationship are you having? Are you having an open relationship whereby your partner can go and sleep with whoever he wants? You can have a threesome. You can even invite your friends over and have a foursome, another couple and have a fivesome. So group sex and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that are going on around regarding sex. But then now, is sex everything? Sex cannot be everything. Remember, when you make sex is good in a relationship and it's very healthy. It's important, very important that you have sex. But then now, don't misunderstand me. Don't blow everything out of proportion and think that sex is everything in a relationship. First of all, what means a lot in a relationship is communication. You need to communicate. You need communication. Like I said in my videos, you need, as a man, when you want to have sex with a woman, you need to arouse her. A woman needs to be aroused. You need to arouse a woman. Without arousing a woman, you're wasting your time. You cannot succeed. You cannot succeed. You need to arouse a woman. A woman needs to be aroused. Without arousing, there are stages to go through. I explained and I said that in order to arouse a woman, you need to start already days before, even it can be months before. Say you just met this woman, you're in a marriage, and you're in your marriage and you want to spice things up, you want to bring back that mojo, you want to bring back that oomph that you had in that drive, that sex drive, you want to bring it back. You need to know and understand exactly how the steps to go through in order to arouse a woman. Women's sexuality can be shattered and locked up somewhere. That arousal, that sexuality, women have it. That's their nature. That's their nature. They can take that sexuality and lock it up somewhere, and that sexuality enters in a jail, in a prison, and it's locked by chain. She locks it up. She puts a big padlock and throws the key in the ocean. And then nobody can unlock it. No one can. Herself, she's stuck. She don't know how to unlock it. She's longing. Many women out there are moving around. Many women are in marriage for 40 years, for 30 years, for 40 years, and they don't know how to unlock their sexuality. They don't know. A woman will meet a benteng or a youngster, and she says, I've never felt like this in years. I never felt like this with my husband. I feel like a teenager. I feel like I'm in high school, high school romance and all that kind of stuff, simply because nobody could. That arousal was locked up somewhere. It was locked up with big chains. Big chains were holding it. Now she needs a man who understands.
Just read it some.
Even a way it's so.
I can't, I like to
Play around with it. Before things were different, but now intimacy in a marriage is something that is missing. But now how do we bring back intimacy in a marriage? Now things have been improved. Now women, you find that women are free. They've got this freedom of free to live their lives, free to do what they want. They can't be controlled. They can't be slaves again. They don't belong into the kitchen. But then yes, now that I understand. But then now the intimacy, when I say intimacy, I'm talking about the intimacy whereby you trust each other, because intimacy includes trust. Intimacy includes communication. Intimacy includes love. It includes love. It includes togetherness. Togetherness. You become one. When you get married, you become one. When you're in a relationship is a one. There's no more. When you get married, there's no more you. There's no more me. It's us. It's us. So you find that these are the qualities that create intimacy in a relationship. You find that people don't even know each other. People, they get married, but they draw apart. They draw apart, maybe down along the line. The things that have been happening in a relationship, the things that the man has been doing to a woman, things that a woman has been doing, cheating. There's been a lot of mistrust. There's been a lot of cheating. There's been a lot that has been happening in a relationship. Then you find trust goes away. Trust disappears. No more trust. There is no more love. No more love. Money. Now, whenever money is involved in a relationship, it's always bound to be problems. Now, usually what's usually also disappears now when it comes to the man's side. What usually disappears a relationship, that intimacy from the man's side, is when a woman starts earning money, more money than a man. When a man feels threatened that you're earning more money than him, always he will draw away. Intimately he will draw away. Then he starts drifting away. Then a woman wonders. Then you wonder, what happened to my marriage? What happened to my relationship? Why we are no longer the same? Why we don't communicate anymore? But simply because he doesn't want to tell you. He doesn't have a way of you communicating, because men don't communicate. Men never talk. Men never talk. So now he doesn't tell you that it's because you're earning more money. He feels threatened. He feels like you are in control. Men don't like when a woman is in control. Now this usually drifts away the intimacy in a marriage. You find that intimacy is they're just having sex for the sake of having sex, for the sake of taking off this anger, for the sake of relieving all that stress they've had in a long day. But the intimacy disappeared long time ago. There is no more intimacy. So you find that the intimacy is lacking in relationships. You find that people are married for the sake of the status, for the sake of shutting up the family members that are asking too much questions, for the sake of the peer pressure that is going on. They are not married because they are in love. They're in love. Like I said, intimacy involves a lot of things. It involves love. It includes trust. It includes communication. It includes sex. Your sex, you have to spice up your sex in marriage. In marriage, you need to spice up things. When you get too used to the same sex, same sexual positions, same sexual words, the same pickup lines, she gets tired of hearing the same things. It becomes a song. I love you become meaningless. When you say I love you, she doesn't really know that you mean it. So now, in most of the cases, we talk too much, then we stop doing. We stop doing the things we're supposed to do, or the things we used to do. We used to do when we met. Now you find that you talk too much, you make so much promises that you do not even fulfill. People hate promises that are broken. You find that you promised her. It's been years now. You promise her to buy a house. You promise her to do this. You promise her to take her to Paris. You promise her a lot of things that you do not deliver. You don't deliver. So you find that these things, when she piles up all this stuff, you find that she gets upset, she gets fed up, she feels used, she feels like you're wasting her time. You promised her to marry her, and you're not marrying her. You're promising her, maybe you're a woman, you're promising to give him a child, you promise to give him a son, but no child. You're busy with your career, you're busy with chasing after money. There is no time. You're not giving quality time. You're not sparing quality time. So these are the things that usually gets rid of the intimacy in a marriage, in a relationship. Intimacy. In order for you guys to be intimate, you need to bring back the mojo. bring back the mojo. And also making love while you're having sex, it's no more exciting. It's no more exciting. She can feel you. Women always feel you, that you are here, but your mind is not here. You're here physically, but your mind is very far. It's very far. Women love your presence. They love when you're here. Your mind has to be here. You have to be here. You're with her. You're listening to her. You're talking to her. All those things. All those are the things that collects and put together intimacy in a relationship. But then now, before we dive straight into it, remember my name is Israel again, and if you're new to this channel, I would advise you to subscribe there at the bottom in order to receive a message. Touch the bell button to get a notification whenever I upload something awesome on YouTube just for you. But then now the question still stands: is it okay? Is it okay to have sex before marriage, or is it not? Now, I usually advise and I suggest that depending this depends on your background, on your upbringings, and on your religion. So if you're a religious person, then I won't teach you any otherwise from your parents. But then now, if you're a person who is a spirit free, a person who's free spirited, then so basically it depends. It doesn't have, I won't say it's got restrictions, but now depending on your background, depending on your upbringing, depending on how you are raised, every family has got its own fundamentals and rules and things of how they really have to live their personal life regarding sex and relationships. But then now, depending on how the morals were passed on from grandchildren, from great grandfathers down to the God, so it depends on every family has got its own morals. But then now, if we go back and talk about the personal, you personally, how do you feel? How do you feel? Because it usually still takes you back to what are you comfortable with. I usually advise people to live a free spirit, be free and be yourself, be who you want to be. I personally avoid living my life in a box having rules, but simply because I've been there, done that. I've lived a life of a box, a life where I was in a box and I was tied up in a box. So I would suggest that you be free, be yourself, to live the kind of life that you really feel that you want. But then now, still it takes us back to morals. What kind of morals are you want to live accordingly? The morals you need to call, if you want to be respected in the community, in the society, it's very advisable and it's very important that you have self-respect. Self-respect. If you do not self-respect yourself, then nobody will respect you. Nobody will respect you. But then now, we've seen several relationships and several marriages that have ended up in a calamity whereby they are stuck in marriages, depending on for what reason were they caused to get married. But then now, several things usually could be the cause. Should be caused from peer pressure from the family, peer pressure from the friends, peer pressure from workplaces, promotion. Maybe you need a promotion. You would want to be a CEO, but then you can never be. In order to be in that position, you need to be. In order to be respected as a shareholder, as a CEO, you have to have a wife. You have to have a husband. You need to have a structure. You need to have a home structure. So many things force people to enter into marriages. But then now the question still stands and remains: is it good to have sex? Is it good to have sex before marriage? Is it okay to have sex before marriage? But then now, I've seen several people who have ended up into marriages that they never actually, they maybe arranged relationships and all that kind of stuff. You find that the person is not the person who you wanted to spend their life with. You find that the person, maybe the penis is tiny, and maybe the vagina is, maybe she's not a virgin and she lied to you she was a virgin. So such are the things that you need first to, test the waters and see exactly and make sure that this is the person that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. Sometimes, especially when this happens to women, you find that women, they end up with something that cannot satisfy them. They end up with a penis that cannot satisfy them. Maybe he ejaculates after 2 seconds. You find there are many men out there have got issues. They've got issues in bed, issues that don't allow them to last long in bed. And you find that a man, you discover later after you've married the person, you discover that the person ejaculates after 2 seconds. 2 seconds, and it's called This is called premature ejaculation. Now you find that you don't want to spend the rest of your life with such a person. So it's when long time ago, things used to be a little bit different. Boys were raised to be boys, and you knew when you saw a boy or you saw a guy, you knew that he's been well groomed by the uncle, by the grandfather, by the father, well groomed, and well, they used to feed on organic stuff. But today, the world today as it looks, you find that there are issues. Young boys, young men, you find that they are struggling with they are struggling with erection, they're struggling with such bedroom issues. And then now, you find that all this is caused by the foods that they eat, lack of education, lack of knowing exactly how to arouse a woman and how to turn.
Are you browsing on that world map for your favorite destination during holidays? Cape Town is your best choice. Filled with rocky mountains, Table Mountain is our most tourism attraction, and not to mention Robben Island. Woodstock being one of the neighborhood suburbs, spending time relaxed at the coolest corners situated there will leave you with memories to tell. Spend your holidays in the city of Cape Town and enjoy the African warm experience Mother City has to offer. When it comes to hospitality in Cape Town, hotels in Woodstock next to the Table Mountain will offer the most awesome view, allowing you to take an afternoon walk around the bottoms of the Rocky Mountain. Safety in the city of Cape Town is the #1 priority to ensure that visitor as well as citizens are free to jog and take walk freely without worrying about their well-being. Have you visited the top of the Table Mountains yet? What of riding those boats that take off from the waterfront? The Cape Town experience is one that will leave you with nothing but memories to tell. Catch your next flight and get to your favorite destination, which is the mother city of Cape Town today.
Now, what is the intimacy? What is intimacy in a marriage? First of all, what is intimacy in the first place? Intimacy is when two of you connect, when two of you have a chemistry, a strong chemistry that both of you are connected. You're connected. You know that whole thing of love at first sight, and that whole thing, you feel like you become one. Now, intimacy. Many people are married. Many people are in a relationship, but they are not intimate. They are not intimate. They just have sex. They just have sex. They just F. They F. I don't want to say the word, but they just F. They don't make love. They don't make love. Now, intimacy is making love. Now, you can easily be in a relationship and be abused. Many women are out there, they're in a relationship, but they're abused. They are abused. They don't know. It's a norm. They think it's normal. They think it's normal, but they are being abused. They don't know any better. But now, we need to find out exactly how do you bring intimacy in your marriage, and how do you know exactly that you are in an abusive relationship, or your marriage is really intimate. Now, if a men are women. Men and women are usually are different creatures. Men are different from women. Now, when it comes to women are people who are emotionally. Sex to women is emotional. They are emotional. Women, it's very difficult for a woman to have sex without being intimate, without being emotionally attached. Men on the other side, men are never attached. They are never attached. To men, sex is just a game. It's just a game that they play. It's like a punching bag. It's a gym for men. For women are so intimate that they need to be emotionally attached to someone in order to enjoy sex, in order to have fun and make love. They have to be emotionally attached. So now, intimacy in marriage is something that has been missing in many marriages, including from decades and from centuries ago, from our great grandfathers. Great grandfathers used to marry more than one woman, but simply because they saw women as their property. Women were property to them. The more women you had, the more kids you have. The more kids you had, the more legacy. So women was more a legacy, was a property that belonged to men. So intimacy was something that was missing in that time. When intimacy, there was no intimacy in marriage during that time. So you find that women were being abused for centuries. Women were being enslaved, sex enslaved. Now, a man was a man. And a man, whenever a man wanted it, he wanted it. Whenever a man, whether he wanted it, girls used to get married, to be married off by force. There was nothing like getting to know each other. There was nothing like finding your own love. You grew to love someone. So now in marriage, intimacy was missing in marriage. There was nothing like intimacy in those times. But then now today, things have improved, whereby it's even acceptable now to have sex before marriage. It's okay to have sex before marriage. It is really fine, simply because as generations go by, as things improve and develop, you find that people are tired of being stuck in marriages where there's no intimacy, marriages where it's just slavery in the marriage. So now today you get to know someone before you enter into that commitment. You get to meet someone and know the person. You date someone first, you have sex with someone, you sleep with someone, you even live with someone, and know exactly the qualities of the person and the things that you don't like about the person before you decide to get married to this person and spend the rest of your whole life with a person. But then now, people stay in a relationship, people even date, people even have kids before they get married, and stay for even up to 5 years before they decide to now commit to each other. Because things are different today, things are tough today. Long before formation, a boy is usually supposed to get at his adolescence age, an uncle has to sit, a male figure. When a boy is growing up, there has to be a male figure training a boy how to go through puberty and how to become a man, a real man. Going to the bush, some cultures, like here in South Africa, we've got a culture whereby a boy, to become a man, he has to go and circumcise on the bush, on top, in the mountains, on top of the mount, there in the mountains, and then when he comes back, then he's a man. But this goes beyond circumcision. A boy has to be sat down and lectured and told how to arouse a woman, how to get a woman satisfied, and how to make sure that a woman also, it's not a one-sided game. It's not a one-sided satisfaction. Now, boys usually don't get this education, and then they tend to think they are really matured men, and then men or wives end up stuck in marriages and for the rest of their lives. And most women are married, but they don't even know what an orgasm is. They've never reached their climax in their whole life. They don't know that thing exists. A woman, they don't know a woman ejaculates. So these are the things that you need to look out before you jump into marriage. I would advise, I think it's okay, like I said, depending on your culture and your backgrounds and so if you choose to find your partner from the church, it also depends where you meet each other. If you find your partner in church, so that's a different story. So those are different rules that apply to people who go to church. But then now, if you find your girlfriend or you find your boyfriend in a club or in a bar, at a bar, then that's also another case. If you found whichever way you found your boyfriend in high school, wherever you found your boyfriend on the street, you're at your neighborhood, it's important that first you get the right information about the person regarding the bedroom, regarding sex. Girls, tell your boyfriends whether you're a virgin. Tell the guy why you're a virgin, why you've stayed. These are issues that usually are unspeakable. People avoid talking about these things. They don't discuss about these things. But then these things really matter a lot. So it is okay. It is okay to have sex before marriage, depending on your morals, depending on your background and your upbringings. It's very important. Also, it's got disadvantages and advantages. But then some of the disadvantages of having sex before marriage could be maybe the person could be chasing you. Maybe you're a girl and this guy has been hunting you and looking for you everywhere. He's like, because men naturally men are hunters. Now he's been hunting for you, and he's been wanting you, and he's been on your case. Then now, eventually, after you give in and you give him a test, if you give him, you open your legs for him, and then now he loses interest, and then so you find that maybe that such a person is not looking for settling down. He's looking for a one-night stand. He's just a hit and run. So it depends on who exactly the person is. So first look and take. So there are disadvantages of actually having sex before marriage. But then now, it's a good call actually, it's a good sign that, so you need, all in all is you need to have, first test the waters. See the person, see, first, but use protection, When you go out there to have sex before marriage, use protection before you test each other's health status, and see exactly whether you guys are healthy, each one of you is healthy. Use protection, use a condom. Make sure that you don't go live. First study the person and see how the person acts in the bedroom. Say if the person has the right qualities, if the person will make you happy sexually. Because sometimes you find the guy wants to have sex 10 times a week, or 3 or 4 times a day. And then now the woman, she's not into sex, she's a virgin, she's not into all that. And then you find that if these two people come together and they get married, there will always be cheating, and there will always be stuff, there will always be issues in a relationship. So basically, it's good to find out sexually what your partner is before you get married, and then you make sure that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. So now
Are you browsing on that world map for your favorite destination during holidays? Cape Town is your best choice. Filled with rocky mountains, Table Mountain is our most tourism attraction, and not to mention Robben Island. Woodstock being one of the neighborhood suburbs, spending time relaxed at the coolest corners situated there will leave you with memories to tell. Spend your holidays in the city of Cape Town and enjoy the African warm experience Mother City has to offer. When it comes to hospitality in Cape Town, hotels in Woodstock next to the Table Mountain will offer the most awesome view, allowing you to take an afternoon walk around the bottoms of the Rocky Mountain. Safety in the city of Cape Town is the #1 priority to ensure that visitor as well as citizens are free to jog and take walk freely without worrying about their well-being. Have you visited the top of the Table Mountains yet? What of riding those boats that take off from the waterfront? The Cape Town experience is one that will leave you with nothing but memories to tell. Catch your next flight and get to your favorite destination, which is the mother city of Cape Town, today.
But then now, we've been talking about sexting, the advantages and disadvantages and all that kind of stuff. Now, I was telling before we went to the break, make sure that you surprise your man. Use sexting. Sexting is very good. Talk dirt through that sexting. Talk dirt to him. Talk all the big words. I understand. Maybe you come from a background that was grounded, that you're scared of talking, that language was never used and all that kind of stuff. But now, when it comes to relationship, you need to be a slut. Be a slut for once. You avoid saying this stuff, but your men, women say this stuff to him. Women say this stuff to him. Colleagues, they want him. They want him so bad. But make it easy for him, and pretend to be those women. Be those women, so that when they try their luck, he tells them, no, it's fine, I'm okay. But when you deprive your man from these things, the man goes out there and finds these things out there. But then I do understand, sometimes the relationship can be so, like I've got a video, 3, I've got several videos, more than 3, that takes that they are in parts that what's the title again? The title is How to Arouse a Woman, How to Sexually Arouse a Woman. I explain and I teach, I give lectures, I give points of how to sexually arouse a woman. And I mentioned that women are sexually so closed up. They are so sexually locked up in a cage. They are aroused. Their sexualness or their sexiness is trapped in a prison. Is trapped in a jail. And then you find that they are trapped. They don't know how to come out. And I mentioned that they've got They've got breaks. They've got breaks. And before you get to arouse your woman, you need to go through those breaks. There's no way you're gonna get through to the accelerators. The next stage 2 of arousing a woman is the accelerators. You're not gonna succeed with the accelerators before you get through the breaks. You need to get through the breaks. The breaks you need to go through. Women have got breaks. They are tied up into that prison. That prison. She's tied up into that prison. She's locked up in there. She doesn't know how to come out of it. It's only someone has to let her. Someone has to break those chains, and the only one who can break them is you. He forgot when last. It's been years ago. It's been centuries ago. Since centuries or decades since he's felt like a young person. He felt like a young woman. He felt like a teenager. That's why you find usually women, older women, when they date young boys, the reason even they go and date young boys is simply because they make them. She will say, he made me feel young again. He made me feel like a teenager again. He made me feel, because that young guy opened those breaks. He opened those breaks. Now a woman has breaks, but then now usually those breaks, men usually do not know how to go through those breaks, and they don't even know what breaks they are. They don't even know that women have breaks. Women are tied up and locked up somewhere in a cage, somewhere lost. They are lost. There's a little girl in them that is lost. Now usually that's why I do understand that a woman cannot go ahead. She's not in a mood to do all that sexting stuff. It's not her thing. She doesn't even want. She's got more to worry about. She's got kids to worry about. She's got bills to worry about. And though usually these are the breaks that a woman are locking up the woman's sexuality deep inside that, and she locks up and she throws away the keys. Nobody can hurt me again. Nobody will ever hurt me again. No man will control me again. No one man will do this to me again after what I went through. So you find that she's locked up in there, and to get through to her, to arouse her and to have sex with her, you need to go through those breaks. You need to unlock those breaks in order to get to her. So that is why sexting is very good. Sexting is very good because you as a man, you can easily get to unlock those locks, unlock those breaks, and to break those chains. Those chains, usually, like I said, chains are usually a woman. The things that break those chains are very simple. They're not even difficult. They're very simple. But if you always skip those breaks, if you skip those breaks and jump to the next stages because you wanna have sex, you'll buy all the flowers, you'll buy the chocolates, you'll foreplay her, you will do all kind of stuff. But if you didn't go through the breaks, you will be wasting your time. Now, like I said, breaks are the things that she's been locked up because she's hating herself. She's been sexually molested before her ex. The ex that did a lot of abused her emotionally, sexually, financially, and everything. Maybe she used to have money. She used to have a company. He came and he took all her money and ran away and ran off, left her with a kid, with a child, and now she's in the next relationship and she's locked up. She doesn't know how to forget about what happened to her. She's locked up. The experience that she's been through, the stress that she's going through right now. Maybe she's lost her parents. Maybe she lost a child and she's stuck. She buried her child years ago. She's still stuck. No, she's never moved on from that situation. She's still in her dreams. She still can't believe it happened to her. Those are all the things that lock up a woman into a cage, into the prison. I told you, watch until the end. This is where I've got juicy stuff. So usually always watch my videos to the end. All the videos, if you've watched this far until now, I urge you to always watch my videos to the end, because I usually keep the juicy stuff to the end that sometimes I don't even want to finish. But it's just the time that stops me. But always, I promise that I'll always make the next video. If I still had a lot to say in a video, I'll always jump into a part 2, because I don't want to make this video so long. I don't want to have too many breaks that will exhaust you and feel like, oh, you start yawning and you just want to get out of here. So but now I would like to tell you that if you're new to this channel, you need to, and you want to see more of my videos, and you want to learn more about sexting and what sexting means to a guy, and what exactly how sex is important in your life, in your relationship, and how exactly to unlock, if you're a guy, how to unlock those breaks that are holding a woman's sexuality in order for you to enjoy her. You need to get through to her. You need to get through to her. Now, the stage 1, which is the breaks, is the most difficult. Now, in my videos, I do show you how to break through those stages of breaks.
Are you browsing on that world map for your favorite destination during holidays? Cape Town is your best choice. Filled with rocky mountains, Table Mountain is our most tourism attraction, and not to mention Robben Island. Woodstock being one of the neighborhood suburbs, spending time relaxed at the coolest corners situated there will leave you with memories to tell. Spend your holidays in the city of Cape Town and enjoy the African warm experience Mother City has to offer. When it comes to hospitality in Cape Town, hotels in Woodstock next to the Table Mountain will offer the most awesome view, allowing you to take an afternoon walk around the bottoms of the Rocky Mountain. Safety in the city of Cape Town is the #1 priority to ensure that visitor as well as citizens are free to jog and take walk freely without worrying about their well-being. Have you visited the top of the Table Mountains yet? What of riding those boats that take off from the waterfront? The Cape Town experience is one that will leave you with nothing but memories to tell. Catch your next flight and get to your favorite destination, which is the mother city of Cape Town, today.
So now, remember, I've got a video. I would like just to remind you that I've got a video that mentions the types of sexes. So sexting is one of the types of sexes. I mentioned sexes, the types of sexes like oral sex. I mentioned the straight sex, which is penis in the vagina. I mentioned the anal sex. I mentioned which is when the penis goes into the anus. So yeah, now the people have got all kinds of fetishes and types of ways they want to have sex, but those are some of the types of sex. And then there's sexting, and then there is facial expressions, facial body language sex. There's many types of sexes. So if you want to know them, go there down in the playlist, and my playlist you will see all the types of sexes. But now we're gonna focus on sexting. What exactly does sexting mean to a guy? So today we're gonna see exactly what it means. Now if you want to learn, so make sure that you touch the bell button next to the subscribe button to receive a notification to all my awesome videos if you are new to this channel. And even if you've been here and you subscribe, make sure that you do touch even the bell button yourself, because many people do subscribe. People don't know that when you don't touch that bell button next to the subscribe, you will not receive a message. But if you click on that bell button, right, it gives you options to receive a message in your email box, in your Gmail inbox. Then you'll receive a message that I've uploaded a video. So all you do is go to the Gmail emails, in your emails, and click on that video, that message, and then you watch my videos. So make sure that you stay here, watch all my videos to the end. Make sure you watch them to the end, because at the end is where I usually have juicy stuff. I usually save it to the end. So now if we're gonna dive in straight into this video, I would like just to let you know that if you have any comment that you wanna put it there in the comment box. Comment there and let me know anything you have. If you disagree with my videos, any opinion that you have, I welcome all the feedback. Put it there in a comment box. I need to hear all of it, so I can also visit your channel, so I can also watch your videos. If you're a creator, let me see what you have. Let's interact and let us get to know each other. So now if we dive straight into this video, we need to know exactly what exactly is sexting. What does sexting mean? Now first of all, sexting is a type of sex, like I said, but it's usually used as sex, having sex with texts, having sex with text. Now, when I mentioned in that video, when I was explaining to you the types of sexes, I mentioned that sex is a type that it's actually a type. It's a type that usually. It's a type of sex whereby you're texting someone. You text someone and you communicate with someone through texting. Now this is a way of having sex that usually guys love it so much. Guys, even girls love it, but usually it means a lot to guys. Now we're gonna dive straight into why guys really like it. Why do guys really like it? Because usually guys are the ones who are more in love with sex. Women are usually more affection. Women are affection affection. It's more about touching her. It's more about spending time with her. It's more about doing all that kind of stuff with her. But then now men usually love, they love talking dirty, and they love all that kind of stuff. Now then, that's where they usually love sexting. Men love sexting simply because also most men who are a little bit nervous, men who are a little bit afraid of commitment, men who are usually a little bit afraid of showing their weaknesses. Maybe his libido is low, maybe his testosterone are low, maybe weak men. Now, not all of them. Now, I'm not saying all men who sex, they are weak, but usually remember, sexting has its own advantages and has got its own disadvantages. But then now I'm gonna mix up everything. So make sure that you don't go anywhere. Sit here, don't move, because we're gonna see and learn a lot about sexting. Now, sexting is one method that is usually used by guys who are amateurs. Guys who are amateurs like to hide behind sexting. Now, the topic is what does sexting mean to a guy? But first of all, now, before I explain exactly what it means to a guy, I'm gonna explain exactly what sexting does. What people hide behind sexting. So you need to be so much aware. If you're a woman and you're so into this whole sexting thing, you need to be so much aware, because guys hide through sexting. Weak guys, weak manipulative, and all guys who are abusive, and guys who are pervert guys, they like hiding behind sexting, making sure that and women have always been taken advantage of. Women have always been vulnerable women. They've always been played. They've always been fooled, thinking that it's a real. It actually, like I said, women are usually emotional. Women usually get carried away. Women are people who are creatures that get easily. They fall in love easily. They believe easily, and they fall in love easily. So then, eventually, if a sexter knows exactly what he's doing, and if a sexter finds a way, a sexter can easily hook up this woman. A sexter can easily make this woman fall in love, even though sometimes they hide between. They hide. Now I'm talking to people who maybe you met online, maybe you met at a club or something. You haven't even met. Now, before I dive into people who are married already, they know each other, and what sexting does, I would love first to focus on people who don't know each other, people who met just online. Now, there are dangers in sexting with people who you met online. I do understand that sometimes women are lonely, sometimes people are lonely, and all that kind of stuff. And this doesn't only go to women, it also goes to guys. You find like guys are chatting to big mamas, sugar mamas, and all that kind of stuff. Then you find that all of those types of characters, they hide there behind those profiles that are fake, profile pictures that are fake, profile pictures with young girls with blonde hair and all that kind of stuff. Then you find that the sexter on the other side, he captures your mind. He captures your mind and starts sexting you things you want to hear. Usually abusers usually are the ones who use that method of sexting online, dating apps and dating sites and all of that kind of stuff. Usually, even on Facebook and everywhere, usually you need to be aware of those monsters that are there hiding in the name of sexting what you want to hear. So we're gonna take a break right now, but when we come back, we're gonna hear about what sexting, the disadvantages, the bad things that sexting does. Before we go to the break, I would love to tell you that don't go anywhere. Just stay here. Just go and grab a cup of tea and come back and sit and watch the next piece. That when we come back after break.
Is your hairstylist telling you the whole truth about hair growing secrets and maintenance? In fact, Injib's hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Injib's product maintains weaves, Brazilian and human hair extensions. Is your wedding coming soon but your hairline is a total mess? What kind of a party, event or function are you soon attending? Injib's product is the real deal when it comes to restoring damaged hairline. Find and Jibs products at New Look Cosmetics in Epping Industrial, Cape Town, where they supply a variety of wholesale hair products. Find and Jibs products at Jabula Cosmetics in the Golden Acre, Cape Town. Find and Jibs products at A to Z Amani Cosmetics in Mowbray, Cape Town. Don't forget your Jibs products for your next hairdo. Remember, Jibs hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Welcome back again after the break time, and we're gonna see exactly the dangers into having sex. We've been seeing several things before this video started. So if you just joined us, this is a sexual health education video talking about sex and learning all the aspects of sex, which is very important information in a youth's life, in an adult's life, and in everyone's life. But then now we're gonna see exactly what are the dangers into going just straight and have sex without even having protection, without even having any communication with someone who's well educated and who's well equipped regarding sexual stuff. Now, before you jump into anything that you will regret, you need to go and find out, go and view all my videos, go and watch all my videos too, from the beginning to the end. Don't just jump out in the middle, because I usually keep the juicy part on the end. So make sure that you dive into my videos and watch them. They're so educative regarding sex. But then now, before you jump into sex, there are so much health reasons, there's so much health stuff that you need to look out for before you jump into going and sleep around without any protection. But then now, remember, when you go sleep and when you go have sex, it's not only you're not only preventing pregnancy, you're preventing several other things. Not only pregnancy. Don't worry. Usually girls usually worry only about pregnancy. But then they forget that you can come out with so much deadly diseases like syphilis, all kinds of syphilis that you can come out with. So always you need to take precautions. Take precautions. Using condom is the number one means of protection when you're going to have sex. Having sex, it's very tricky. But then now, I need to really clarify this. Many people think that STDs are in the sperm, are in the semen. STD, that is very wrong. STDs usually are not in the sperm. Sperm is clean, sperm is always clean. But where the problem is, STDs are in the blood, are usually in the blood cells. So now, you'll find that there are sores also somewhere, maybe in the vagina, vaginal sores in the lining of the vagina, and then you find that maybe that the sperm mixes, the fluid, vaginal fluids mix up with the how do you call it, is it sputum, the sputum, the white fluid, which usually the pus, you find that the pus that comes out of that the wounds release, or the vaginal wounds or the sores release pus, and then you find that pus mixes with the vaginal fluids, and then it looks as if it's cum, it looks as if it's sperm, but it's actually fluid. But then now that sputum, or that pus usually have blood cells, red blood cells, and usually also there are mixed also with white blood cells. Remember, the blood cells are white, they are red blood cells, and then we've got the white blood cells, which are responsible for your immunity system, or for your protection of against health and against infections and all that kind of stuff. So now, white blood cells are the ones responsible for your health. Red blood cells are the ones responsible for the blood. But then now you find that the pus mixes with the sperm, and then you could easily catch an infection. So, but sperm itself is clean. Now, STDs like HIV and other STDs are usually in the blood. Viruses are usually in the blood. Now, what happens is, when you keep rubbing your penis on a vagina, against the vagina, you keep rubbing for an hour, almost an hour, you're rubbing it. Now, you bruise, both of your skins bruise. Have you seen a love bite? A love bite is always a bruise. It's not really, it's a bruise it's a bruise that takes place. There's an inflammation over there. Now when there's a bruise, when your penis get this bruised and the vagina is bruised, now continuously you guys start exchanging blood. You exchange blood. Say for instance, even kissing, if your gum is bleeding, or maybe you have a sore, or maybe you cut yourself somewhere on the tongue, you were brushing your teeth and the toothbrush scratched your tongue, scratched your gum, you're bleeding, and then you kiss someone else who's also has got a bleeding on the lip or bleeding somewhere. You guys are going to exchange blood. You will definitely exchange blood, and this is where now you're gonna start getting different infections from the other partner. You're gonna catch infections through exchanging blood. So now semen is clean. Semen rarely contain infections, except if maybe the semen, the cells that are coming from the semen have got sickle cells and all that kind of stuff, then the baby will come with sickle cells, because semen always carries babies. It doesn't carry. So now you need to know exactly. You need to know before you go out there. You need to know exactly what you can come back with. You can not only come back with pregnancy, you can come back with STDs, and these STDs are deadly. These STDs kill. The STDs like HIV and AIDS, STDs like gonorrhea, STDs, many vaginal infection, vaginal yeast, all of those are STDs that you can come back with. So make sure that you even things like giving a blowjob, all of that stuff could be really. I mentioned it in the beginning of this video about blowjobs, about all of that. So you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful when it comes to things like this. Now we're going to take another short break, a last break that we're going to take right now. But when we come back, I would love to discuss more about what to do, what precautions to take in terms of knowing exactly what to do when it comes to your sex drive when it's low, especially for men. Your sex drive is gone down and you don't know what to do. We're going to talk about that when we come back after a break. So see you shortly after.
Is your hairline damaged from all the chemicals applied? Do you braid your hair too tight? Are you wearing a wig every day? In Jibs Cosmetics Hair Care Range is the answer. In Jibs range restores your hairline, moisturizing hair while giving it back its shine and elasticity. In Jibs Hair Care Range has a variety of products including hair food, weave and braid stays, shampoos and many more. Find in Jibs at your nearest cosmetic store at an affordable price. Restore your hair back to its natural condition today. When it comes to a woman who cherishes her beauty, a little bit of attention takes her a long way. Looking elegant, beautiful and stylish puts that puzzle together, but there's that one piece missing, and only to realize that in Jibs is the answer. Answer.
Welcome back once again. We are back again with a title, with our topic, how to sexually arousing a woman. So you're here to learn. We are back again. Welcome back again with your coffee and your popcorns. So sit still. Now we're gonna dive straight into it. Now, how do you generally arouse a woman? Now first of all, there are 3 stages that you need to go through in order to arouse a woman. Now there's a first stage, there is a second stage, and there is a third stage. Now, it's always, if you do ignore the first stage, then the 2 stages, the 2 later stages are likely not to be effective. You are likely not to succeed with the two steps if you skip the first step. The first step. Now, usually the first step is the step of goals. Is the step of breaks. Step of breaks. Now, a woman has got breaks. She's got breaks. And then secondly, she's got accelerators. She's got brakes and she's got accelerators. She's just like a car. If you want to ride your woman well, or if you want your woman to ride you well, you need to know these brakes. She's got brakes, she's got accelerators. And then you need to know these things. Now, those are the first 2 and then the third one are the things to do in order for her to reach her climax. The things to do. the steps. I'll make a video. My videos to come are videos that will explain the steps to do, the things to do in order to explode her, or to reach her climax. But then for now, we're gonna mostly focus. We're gonna focus on this, on the breaks, on her breaks. Then now we'll save the rest for the next video to come. So just keep following up on my videos. So if you just joined us right now, we're talking about how to sexually arouse a woman. So now we're talking about the breaks. A woman has got breaks. She's got breaks. Those breaks are breaks that help a woman to open up. Those breaks can easily hinder a woman, can easily hold a woman. And if you do not go through those breaks, if you do not unbreak, and usually women are tied up, women are trapped. Now these breaks that I'm talking about are things that are holding a woman into a cell or into a prison. Her sexuality, her arousal, and her becoming horny, her arousal is all hidden and trapped in some jail, into some prison. And herself, she doesn't know how to open up and how to untie. Like, I've got videos that mention how a man thinks and how a woman thinks. How a man thinks versus how a woman thinks. And I mentioned things like when a man is disturbed and the man is confused, because men don't know how to communicate. Men don't know how to talk. They don't know how to communicate what they're going through. Women, on the other hand, women are verbal. Women talk. When a woman is going through something, they are verbal. They talk to neighbors. They talk to strangers on the street. They talk to people in the aisle at the supermarket. They talk to everybody. They just talk to anybody. So now they talk on a queue at a clinic with their babies when they're waiting on a nurse. They talk, they just talk, they talk. So now, unlike the men do not talk. Men don't communicate. So what men do when they are disturbed, or when they are threatened, when they are going through something, they bottle up, they keep quiet, and they hide themselves in a cage. They put themselves in a cage. They enter that cage, and sometimes they hardly come out. Most men, 85% of men don't know how to come out of that cage. They entered that cage. Maybe sometimes they entered it at the age of 6. They entered it when they are kids. They entered it at the age of 5, when they saw their mother being molested, when they saw their father beating up their mother, when they were molested, if they are girls, when they were molested. Even boys today are molested. When their mother passed away, when their father walked out of the marriage, when their parents got divorced, when the stepmother took over, when the stepfather took over, such stuff. When the mother got a boyfriend, there is a child in them. There is a child that was trapped in a man's life, that child is trapped in there, and that child has never got out of that cage until today. You find the man is doing things of a childish stuff, childish things, and he doesn't know how to come out of it. He does not know how to get out of it. He's trapped in it. Now, most men, when they enter that cage, they hardly come out of it. They hardly come out. Now, the same applies to women. That is a cage for men. Now, there is a cage for women. There is a cage for women. Men, that's their own cage. When they are disturbed, they enter that cage because they don't know how to come out of it. Nobody can take them out of it except a woman. A woman is the only one who can untie them out of that cage. But then now, on the other hand, women, their cage is an arousal cage. It's an arousal cage. It's a sexual cage. When they enter that cage, because of the things that I'm going to mention to you right now, when they enter that cage, they don't know how to come out. It's very difficult to arouse them. It's very difficult to get sexually onto them. It's difficult to get them horny because they are tied into that cage. Now, stay tuned, because we're gonna take another break. Go and pee, go urinate, and come back. Go see check on your phone what messages you have. We're coming back, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what are those breaks that are holding a woman from arousal and from becoming horny. So don't go away. Don't shut out this video. Just go take a break, come back, and then continue. So we're gonna take a break right now.
Is your hairstylist telling you the whole truth about hair growing secrets and maintenance? In fact, Injib's hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Injib's product maintains weaves, Brazilian and human hair extensions. Is your wedding coming soon but your hairline is a total mess? What kind of a party, event or function are you soon attending? Injib's product is the real deal when it comes to restoring damaged hairline. Find Injib's products at New Look Cosmetics in Epping Industrial, Cape Town, where they supply a variety of wholesale hair products. Find Injib's products at Jabula Cosmetics in the Golden Acre, Cape Town. Find Injib's products at A to Z Amani Cosmetics in Mowbray, Cape Town. Don't forget your Injib's products for your next hairdo. Remember, Injib's hair product is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Sexting is very important, like I was saying. Sex is very important to a relationship. It can strengthen a relationship. It's a very good way of keeping a relationship together. Keeping a relationship together and making sure that people, a couple doesn't fall apart. A couple does not break up. A couple stay together. But then now, remember, guys are very easy to be taken. It's very easy to take a guy. Now remember, I'm talking to you, a woman, as a woman. Woman, keep check on your guy. Keep check on your guy. Guys love also to be checked on. They love to be checked on. Keep him. Sexting is very good when it comes to a guy. Keep him checked. Keep sexting him. Don't let him get distracted. Make sure that you capture. There are many ways to capture a man's mind. Capture a man's mind. I've got videos there of how you can capture a man's mind and how to get hold of them tight and keep them in your, and keep yourself in their mind. So a man is someone who can easily be distracted by little things. So if when a man goes silent, and there is nothing, and you are not, and you are nowhere, in his mind, men are like babies, men are like boys, small little boys. Men are like boys. We think like boys. We just go where things are happening. You could easily, let me tell you one thing. If you keep him on the phone, whoever that is laying next to him will not get his attention. By that, you will always cause a fight. You will always cause distraction in whatever that is going through in between, unless if he switches off the phone, of which I don't think is unlikely to switch off the phone. So sexting is very good. Sexting has a way of also bringing two people closer in a way they get to understand deeper things. You get to learn how someone talks. You get to learn someone's tone. You get to learn someone's. Now before I talk deeper, because now I usually love to keep good things at the end of the video. So the best and the most juicy stuff is at the end. So stay, don't go anywhere, don't move. We're almost getting juicy. So get excited, get ready for the best the best, and know exactly how to use sext for your own advantage. So now sexting has a way of capturing someone's mind. Remember, information, I usually tell people, information is very important. The information here, the mind power. Now I'm gonna teach you about mind power. If you want to capture your loved, someone you love, you want to capture a woman's mind, you want to capture a man's mind, make sure that you use this mind power that I'm going to give you right now. Mind power has a way of, remember, information is very important. Information, if you want to change someone's mind, if you want to change your mind yourself, you make sure that you change the way you think. Make sure that you change the way you think. And the only way to change your thoughts, is by erasing the bad thoughts. You have a way of renewing your mind. You've got power to renew your mind, and the only way to renew your mind, before we mention sexting, right? Because all of this that I'm talking about is about, it all sums up to sexting. Now I'm really helping you. I'm helping you to understand exactly why sexting is very important, and why sexting is very good in a relationship. So now, if you want to capture someone's mind and you want to hold them for yourself and to yourself, there are many ways of making sure that you get them and you put them, you trap them into your mind. Now this is not witchcraft. This isn't witchcraft. This is psychology. It's called mind psychology. It's called psychology. Now the information that you usually put in someone's mind has power to either change them. That's why you find that usually people are stuck with whatever that was told to them when they were kids, whatever that was said to them. If you tell a woman you look fat, why have you gained weight or what? That usually sticks on their mind, and it will slash them apart. It slashes them apart. So information, whether you've texted, or you've said it, or you've said it over the phone, it has an impact. So the information that you take in has power to change someone's mind or to change your mind. So, but now that's where now sexting comes in. Where sexting is very important in relationships is you get to open up. If you say, for instance, you are a person who's shy, you're a person who's sensitive, who fears. When you see maybe some people break down when they see your face. When they see your face, like they freeze. They freeze. They're afraid of saying anything. They can't say anything. They freeze. And now when it comes to also with love has a way of blinding. It has a way of blinding. Then you find that when you're blinded with love, you can say, there are things that you won't say. There are things that you won't see. Things that you won't say, things that you're afraid to hurt someone's feelings, and then you end up not saying what you wanted to really say. Say, for instance, you were like, okay, today I'm gonna break up with her today. Today I'm breaking up with her. It's done. It's done. So then you start exercising in the mirror. You start exercising. Okay. Baby, today we're done. No. Baby, I'm breaking up with. Okay. Today, okay, babes. There's something I want to say to you. Okay. So you exercise. You kind of like go into an exercise. You wanting to break up with someone. But then now when you see, the minute someone walks in, then you freeze. Then you can't say it. So that's where you find out it's always easier when you text, send a text to someone. Sending a text to someone. There are also things that you find when you are very shy, especially with girls. Maybe she's very shy and she can't talk. She doesn't even look into your eyes to tell you. Some girls are very shy. Though today it's very difficult to find a shy girl, but girls can be shy. There are shy girls, and they can't talk dirty. They can't talk dirt. Like things, they can't say big words like F words and the P words and all those B, D words. They can't say those words. They cannot speak them out. But so they find it difficult to turn on someone. If it's a guy, some guys they come from a background, a religious background. They were raised religiously. So then you find that they find it difficult to say those words. Those words are unspeakable, and where they grew up, they never spoke those words. Those words were unspeakable. So then you find that when it comes to texting, it's easier to text those words. It's easier to text them. It's easier to say them in the text and say the D word and say a penis or say a vagina. Can I see a pic of your vagina? I wanted to say to you, your vagina tasted so nice last time. So these are things that they can't say physically because they can't say. They can't spit out because they come from a background that it's a taboo to say such words. Like me, where I grew up, it was a taboo to say vagina. It was a taboo to say penis. We weren't allowed to say those words. We never even had, like, after I started saying those, I discovered those words when I grew up in high school. Is when I started saying them. Someone would say it, I would get a fright. I would get a heart attack, a stroke. Because someone said a vagina, I would get a stroke. And that's how we were raised. It's a background we come from. But then now as I grew, I started, there's no way I would say that word to a girl. I wouldn't say, send me a pic of your vagina. I wouldn't. But texting was easy. And that's the same way. The reason why I even came out so bold like this and so open-minded, and so it's because I started with social media. Social media has a way of taking us out of the boxes. People like us, like the videos that I make. This video that I make about sexting. It's the only way that I can express myself because I'm not in front of people's faces. I'm a very shy person. I'm a shy person, so don't get me wrong. I'm not a dirty-minded person. I'm a very shy person. I come from a religious religious background whereby we never grew up where even these words are spoken. So but now as I started sex, it even took me very long to stand in front of the camera and post something out here. If you go back to my videos, my 4 years ago videos that I posted 4 years ago, you'll realize that I was even very shy. I was even afraid of sitting in front of a camera. I was even the way I spoke in front of a camera was very, very weird. So now texting, being on social media helped me to communicate with people. Even though I wasn't sexting, I was texting, it had a way of making me become bold and making me be open and say exactly what I want to say. So now let's take a break again. Let's take a break, go breathe, take a smoke, take a glass of, go fill up your glass of wine, and then come back and listen to more about this, about sexting and what does sexting mean. So don't go anywhere, come back, make sure you come back and continue until we finish this video.
Teaches me it's some.
Even a way it's so.
I can't, you know, I like to
Play around with it. Israel, we're back again with Israel again from the break, and now we're busy talking about how to arouse a woman. Now we're talking about the breaks. So if you just joined us, we're talking about how to arouse a woman, and your woman has got breaks. You need to go through those breaks. Now, one of the breaks is to make sure that you deal with the stress that she has. Stress is one of the breaks. Now I've explained already before the break. I've explained now, but now how do we deal with the how do you help her as a man? How do you help her to overcome this stress? How do you help her to go through this stress, these breaks? You're the only one who can be the first step you do before even touching her, before you even harass her, before you even kiss her, before you even do it. You need to go through those breaks. Now these breaks are things like stress. Now the stress, how do you help her? We've seen the stress, what causes the stress, but now how do you overcome the stress? I've got many videos of how to overcome depression, how to overcome stress, how to deal with anger and issues in a relationship, how to deal with bullies at work, how to deal with all that stuff. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe there and touch the bell button next to it to receive a notification to all my awesome videos that I upload to YouTube just for you. Now make sure that you stay. If you have any question, if you have any objection, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, put it there in the comment. Just put it there in the comment, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna discuss, and I'll even make videos to reply to your comments. But then now we're gonna see exactly how to deal with stress. Now if you're the only one who has to help her out of this depression, out of this stress that is holding her from becoming horny, you will not enjoy sex. She will not open her legs properly. That vagina, you won't enjoy it. She won't let you enjoy it. She won't even open that leg for you if she's stressed out. If you haven't gone through those breaks, she will not open that vagina. But then now we need to know, how do you help her? How do you help her? Now usually women are different. The things that could be you could be using to get her out of that stress couldn't necessarily work with another woman. So you need to communicate, the both of you. You need to know your woman. You need to know exactly what she loves. You need to know exactly what she needs and what arouses her. What puts her in a mood. What puts her in a mood? Does she like massaging? Does she love doing her hair? Does she love shopping? Does she love women are different. Women are different. Some some easily get moody, and they easily get excited just by hugging them. Maybe you know your woman. Maybe she loves hugging her. Maybe she loves reading a book for her. Maybe she loves telling a story. Maybe she likes to call her. Maybe she loves taking her to a movie. Maybe she loves. So these are the things that can get her out of that stress. It's the only way you can break through this. That's why I usually say in videos of in relationship videos, I usually tell men, you need to start working on, if you want sex on Wednesday, start working on it on Monday. Start working on it on Monday. Start buying stuff. Start buying chocolate. Start arousing her on Monday. It's a process that you need to start breaking. Now, like I said, going through all those breaks, you need to make sure if you want it on Wednesday, make sure that you start going through those breaks. Go through the breaks on Monday already. If she's stressed out and you know she's got a problem, jump in and sort it out. Ask her, approach her, and find a way to talk to her. Sex, a woman won't just enjoy sex with you just like this, unless if she's that type, if she's that person if she's a sexiest. If she's a sexist and she loves sex too much, she's always horny, she's got a disease down there. But if it's a woman, a general woman has to be in her mood. She has to be in a good mood, in order to enjoy sex. So now you need to know exactly. You need to know how to help her through those moods. You need to help her. Take her to a movie. Take her, do stuff. Do little things. But chill with her. Hold her. Make sure that you are there. Women want to know that you are there. Women love to know that you are there. In my previous video, this is video number 2, I mentioned the things that arouse a woman, and this included a woman is aroused by a man's masculinity. Take charge. Don't just be there a mumu, and don't just be there a feminist. Don't be feminine. Women, I know you're trying to relate to her, and you're trying to gossip with her, and you're trying to talk about people with her, but women love masculine men. Women are aroused by masculinity. Masculinity arouses women. But then now, you need to know exactly. You need to know for sure that your woman loves masculine. Women love to take charge. You need to take charge. You have to take charge. If you're always soft and the smoothie and the soft and the women don't love softies. They turn them off. Softies turn them off. Unless if you're dating a woman who looked for a soft guy that she's gonna bully, that she's gonna control and bully and put in a corner, then you're with the right woman. But if you're with a real lady loves a gentleman who is charming, whose masculinity, who your presence has to be there. Your presence speaks a lot. Your touch has to be present. If you're touching her, she has to feel that you are here. Not you are here, you're busy touching her, you're busy rubbing her, you're busy smearing all the oils on her, or all your dirt on her, but then your mind is far. Women can feel it. Women can sense that your body is here, but your mind is very far. Or maybe you're worried that you won't make her happy, you won't satisfy her, you're worried, you're anxious, you're nervous. All that, women sense it, and it turns them off. They hate it. They don't like it. So if you want to turn on your woman, you need to take charge. Be a man. Be masculine. Take charge. Be a man. Right? Be a man. So now we're taking another break. I keep giving you breaks because I know you want to get up and go to the toilet, or maybe you want to get up and go do something. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to see exactly what a woman turns out after you've broken through those breaks, and what she does and what she says to you.
Are you browsing on that world map for your favorite destination during holidays? Cape Town is your best choice. Filled with rocky mountains, Table Mountain is our most tourism attraction, and not to mention Robben Island. Woodstock being one of the neighborhood suburbs, spending time relaxed at the coolest corners situated there will leave you with memories to tell. Spend your holidays in the city of Cape Town and enjoy the African warm experience Mother City has to offer. When it comes to hospitality in Cape Town, hotels in Woodstock next to the Table Mountain will offer the most awesome view, allowing you to take an afternoon walk around the bottoms of the Rocky Mountain. Safety in the city of Cape Town is the #1 priority to ensure that visitor as well as citizens are free to jog and take walk freely without worrying about their well-being. Have you visited the top of the Table Mountains yet? What of riding those boats that take off from the waterfront? The Cape Town experience is one that will leave you with nothing but memories to tell. Catch your next flight and get to your favorite destination, which is the mother city of Cape Town, today.
And now I need to remind you that there are things that you need to go through. things that you need to go through in order to arouse a woman. Now, women are very, very weird creatures, because a woman, when you don't, the minute it can be your wife, it can be your girlfriend, it can be your life partner, it can be someone that you've been loving, you love each other, but it can very, very be easily, you can easily be raped, you can easily rape your woman, you can rape your wife, you can rape, because the minute that you force yourself inside a woman without her being aroused, or without her vagina being wet, then without her vagina being lubricated, then you are forcing yourself inside of her, and she's not enjoying sex at all. And if she doesn't enjoy sex at all, then she's being raped. You are raping her. But then now, like I said, there are things to go through. There are breaks to go through. You need to know what she's going through in life. You need to know what she's dealing with in life. If she's dealing with stuff, if she's going through stuff, then you need to help her through those stuff. You need to make sure that you help her. You deal with her stress. You deal with whatever that she's been going through in the past. Because unless you break through those things, you will never get through to her. Now, there is just stage 2. Stage 2, which is the accelerators. Accelerators are the things you need to do after you're done with breaking through the breaks. You're making a smile. Then I've got all the videos, you can check them there in the playlist. You will see exactly how to deal with a woman. But then now, usually men do not even know what to do. Men are not trained to do these things. Women also don't communicate. Communication is lacking in relationships. First thing to a successful relationship is communication. You need to communicate. You need to tell your partner exactly where your switches are. You need to tell your boyfriend where your switches are, what turns you on. Whenever he's busy having sex with you, you need to tell him, talk to him. Tell him that spot, that's the right spot. The man needs to know which are your right spots, where he needs to rub when he's having sex with you. So sexual health goes beyond. But then now we're gonna now mention also about how a man is turned on. When you need to know exactly what are the things that turn on a man. Now, a man is a very weird creature as well. A man is like a baby. Man is like a boy. A man is taken by everything that he sees. A man, little things, small little things that excite a man. That's why you see men in a relationship, they can easily be taken away. They can easily be swept away by any woman, by anything, Now, you need to know exactly what turns on, what puts a man in the mood. But like I said when I was beginning in this video, things that turn on a woman are different things that turn on a man. So now you need to know what turns on a man. A man loves 3 things in his whole life. First thing that a man loves sex. A man loves sex. Secondly, a man loves food. He loves food. Third and last, a man loves money. But then now, the reason why he loves money is because he needs to provide himself with the 2. He needs to get and buy the 2, which is sex and food. So that's why he goes for money. He needs to become rich and get the best woman in the world. He needs to become rich and buy for himself whatever that he wants. He needs to drive a sports car so that he can impress girls. He needs to do things. He needs to be able to do things. A man's ego is in his wallet. Without money, a man is nothing. So now you need to know the things that men want. Now before we go into health, because this one is a sexual health education video. So I would like to touch all the aspects of sex in life in order to live a healthy relationship, have a healthy relationship, and live a healthy life. But then now you need to know what turns on a man. Food. Cook for him. Make sure that before you have sex with him, make his stomach full. The only way to a man's heart, remember I told you, the man's ego is in his wallet. Now a man's heart is in food. You want to get to his heart. You want to excite him. You want to really touch his heart. You want to really, with women, you do little things. You buy her flowers. You show her pic. You send her a message. You call her. Those are the things that touch a woman. With a man, things that touch a man's heart, it's not those things. It's not buying him something. It's not all that. It's cooking him food. Kill him with food, a big plate of food. Whenever he comes, kill him with food. That way the man will always want to have you. Will always. That's why you find what do they call them? The mistresses. Mistresses outside, they take these men. They take these men simply because they cook for them and they prepare that dining table. They put flowers, roses on the sprinkle stuff on that dining roses, that dining table, and put all that kind of stuff, and she's the one who even buys it. He doesn't buy it. She doesn't make him buy it, and then she makes him eat and get full with all smelling good. Bedroom is smelling good. She's smelling good. You yourself, you're not even smelling that good. You're not even looking that good. You're not even so he's gonna be taken away. He's gonna be taken. So those are the things that turn on a man. But for now, we're gonna go on a very short break. But when we come back, we're gonna see exactly what to do and what to avoid when it comes to going to have sex, because there's a lot of dangers out there when you go and have sex. So we're gonna come back for a break and see all that. See you shortly after the break time, where she enter and she can hardly come out. So please, if you want to see more of this channel, please touch the like button there, and also put a comment there at the bottom. Comment at the bottom there if you want to see more of these things, and if you want to see more videos, please comment there. I will come back to you as soon as possible. Now make sure that you don't just walk away. Share this video to friends, share it to your family members, share it to people who want to learn how to arouse women and how to know exactly what to do to women if they're stuck in those prisons. Make sure that you come back again and watch the next video. Don't move without watching the next video there on top. Watch the next video. The next video is the playlist about sex. The next video is the video that I just uploaded, and then the next video on the other corner is what YouTube suggests for you. So make sure that you sit still. Don't move to any other platform from YouTube, and learn new things today. Israel once again from Egypt's Cosmetics, hoping that you stay tuned to my beauty tips today.